Sources are tying Gary Patterson to the Houston opening. He is a strong candidate to replace Dana Holgorsen. The 63-year-old Hall of Famer was at TCU for 2 decades. 6, count them, 6 AP top 10 finishes at TCU. And don't freak out when I say this. Houston and TCU aren't that dissimilar. When I think DFW, and I know somebody out there screaming, DFW is not a thing. It's Fort Worth, it's Dallas, they're 2 separate things. When I think DFW, which is a thing, the first thing I don't think is TCU. You think Dallas Mavericks and Dallas Stars and this and this. Houston's the same deal. You look up Houston football right now, the Texans pop up. Houston basketball, not the Astros, hopefully. The Rockets pull up. Gary Patterson took a school like that and had 6 top 10 finishes. He goes to small schools, and Houston's an up-and-comer that needs to learn how to compete in the Big 12. That was all Dana Holgorsen's thing this year. We're learning to compete at a Power 5 level. We're getting better. We're learning every week. Gary Patterson has been there, and he has done that. Gary Patterson said on the Matt Mosley show on ESPN Central Texas, he wants to return to the game of football. He has the resume. He has the pedigree. He has a statue at a damn university, which is enough for him to be a head coach again in this game. For him to be a head coach again in this conference. I do believe he'll be in this conference, and I think Houston is the right landing spot. I think there are other teams that are going to be upset that they didn't take a chance and hire Gary Patterson when they could have. Not just in the Big 12, but across the country, especially in Texas, where he has been, where he has dominated recruiting. And when he didn't dominate recruiting, he took the recruits that he got, and he won with them. If you take that at Houston, I bet you he's going to win with it. I'm confident now that Gary Patterson has said that he wants to return to the game, that he needs a job in the Power 5. He has enough. There were always, when Texas would come open, it was Gary Patterson's job. And then A&M would come open, and maybe this is the time Gary Patterson gets the job. And Arkansas would come open. Gary Patterson's going to get the job. He was tied to so many massive openings and just never got it. He led TCU to their best years in school history, finished in the top 5 of the AP poll multiple times. He built the team. He built the roster that went to the college football playoff. I know that somebody else had to drag them to the finish line, and I don't give Gary Patterson a credit for the national championship appearance, but he built those guys that were there. Patterson said on ESPN Central Texas, my station, I got a lot of ball games left in me. I'll be a lot better at it. I've already acquired a staff, guys' names, depending on where the school might be. I haven't just been playing golf here the last 10 months. I've been watching guys, talking to guys. If the opportunity comes along, it's the right fit, I'll be ready. He wants to go to the Big 12. He wants to go to the college football ranks again, and I think he deserves to do it. Houston is the kind of place that needs a head coach that is good at reviving programs, the kind of place that needs a head coach that can walk in, that has Power 5 experience, has been there, has done that, has gone to a school that's not the biggest show in town and can win right away. I believe if Gary Patterson's hired at Houston, it is a splash hire. It is a massive, monumental move for an athletic department that needs a boost on the football side. You've done it in the last decade plus. Houston has had, dating back to Art Briles, Houston has had success with head coaches. Every head coach that's walked through the door has had a winning percentage above 500. Even Dana Holgorsen has that. But you've just established to me and everybody else, thankfully, that you will not settle. Houston will not settle. So with that, go get a guy who for 2 decades didn't settle for, TCU's a small private school, they can't win. TCU's not the biggest show in town, they can't win. When you go to a Houston, when Gary Patterson goes to Houston, he's going to win there. I think that is a match made in heaven. That, to me, Gary Patterson being the head coach of the Houston Cougars, Chris Pesman making that move, is one that's going to show other Big 12 teams, shoot. Gary Patterson, who won a lot of games in this league, is back. Try it. What do you have to lose? I mean, maybe Jeff Traylor would do it. Maybe Jeff Traylor would go there, but I think he'd win. But yeah, I think Traylor's looking for the high-profile job. Traylor's looking for the SEC. If not now, soon. Houston, Gary Patterson, I'd love it. It would scare everybody. Go do it. Go do it. Show that Baylor should have fired Dave Aranda and hired Gary Patterson this offseason. Make schools regret not making that call. Coming up, should BYU get rid of its offensive coordinator? This is Locked On Big 12, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks, another place that I go to make money. Prize Picks is so easy. It's so I just go in and I tell Prize Picks, hey, I'd like to make some money. I'd like to bet on some props. And Prize Picks says, okay, let's do it. We do it together. Prize Picks, with the basketball season here, has specials that you can parlay with basketball and football. Like LeBron James, Travis Kelce, a 10.5 combo with 3-pointers made and receptions. Or receptions, if you're a normal person and say it like that. Play alongside some of Prize Picks' most famous players, like rapper Meek Mill, comedian Andrew Schultz. Find community plays under the promos tab in the app to view those right now. PrizePicks.com/LockedOn. Use code LockedOnCollege for first deposit match up to $100. Go to PrizePicks.com/LockedOnCollege. Use code LockedOnCollege for first deposit match up to $100 at PrizePicks.com.